My friend Sarah and I have become quite the travel bugs as we have grown older. We have visited many places over the last few years in the United States. In 2016, we decided to take our travels even further. Some of our favorite things to do are dig our feet in the sand and read a good book. We thought, why not have our next destination be somewhere tropical? Before we knew it, our bags were packed and we were boarding a plane to Jamaica. We hadn't done any real research about things to do on the island. We were going to let the adventure find us. A few days into our trip, we overheard a family talking about something called the Luminous Lagoon. After hearing the family talk about the fun they had, we beelined for the hotel's excursion desk. We were told that the Luminous Lagoon was one of the most amazing and exciting things guests had witnessed on the island. We booked our tickets for the following day. The night of the excursion finally arrived. As we reached our destination, the sun was going down and the sounds of nature were starting to make an appearance. We began to bottleneck off of the bus and assess and collect details about our new environment. The humidity hung in the air like a heavy weight on our shoulders. You could almost cut the sheets of mosquitoes with a knife. We doused ourselves in bug spray to repel their vicious attacks. After what felt like hours, we received instruction to make our way to the boats that lined the wet marshland. The gas vapors mixed with the smell of wet mud created the most unappealing aroma in the air. We were divided into groups and were told to board the boats waiting for us. We huddled close together despite the extremely warm temperatures on the island. As we all found a place on the boat, we were pushed away from shore and heard the loud sound of the motor start to purr. I was surprised by how buoyant the boat was, considering the large number of people currently inhabiting it. As the boat made its way into complete darkness, we began to observe small traces of what we were here to experience. As the boat propelled its way through the water, it left a faint, eerie glow in its wake. With a decrease in speed, the boat eventually came to a stop. The captain started telling us about why these particular marshlands brought scientists and tourists from around the world to observe its waters. He said that they came to observe a type of plankton called dinoflagellates. Due to the consistent climate of the island and mixture of salt and fresh water, the marshland was the perfect habitat for this particular type of organism to thrive. When agitated, the organism would emit a glow known as bioluminescence as a defense mechanism. The marshland also contained high levels of phosphorus, which made the glow even brighter. As his talk came to a close, it was finally time for us to do what we set out to do. As I stood at the side of the boat, I could not see my hand in front of my face. I propelled my body into the air and came down crashing into the warm water below. I observed a faint glow materialize around my body as I began to swim around the boat. I started to think about the 1,000,001 sea creatures that could have had me for dinner that night. Luckily, the other people swam close by and it comforted me. I stopped thinking about all of the scary things that could have occurred as I swam around in the lagoon. I stopped thinking about the pitch black darkness and the wilderness of Jamaica with no hospitals for miles. I took a deep breath and reflected on how lucky I was that I had the opportunity to watch nature show off. We learned from the captain that the organism only glowed as a defense mechanism against predators. To them, I was a predator. I certainly meant them no harm. The response to my presence was actually the reason that I remained so calm during the experience. The hour out in the water only seemed like minutes in my mind, but my body told me another story. I did my best not to touch the bottom of the shallow marshland. Unfortunately, I grew tired and placed my feet on the ground to rest. The substance that met my feet had the same texture as molasses. I had to use all of my energy to pull my feet from the mud that was similar to that of quicksand. Tired from treading water, I made my way back to the boat, the eerie glow following in my path. Who knew that a million small organisms could have such a stunning, luminous natural phenomena? Nature has a way of taking the simplest and sometimes menial things, like plankton, and turns them into beautiful sights to behold. Their glow was mesmerizing. It's something that I don't think I will ever be able to forget.